Hey everybody, I'm Mark Edward Lewis and we're sitting here in Cinema Sound Studio B. I want to talk to you today about speaker placement, specifically about speakers being upside down or sideways. I've got here the JBL 305 Mark II, pretty great speaker, two-way woofer and a tweeter up here. The standard way to do it is just to sit it like this with the woofer on the bottom and the tweeter on the top and angle it so that it's, pointed directly at you the best way possible, because high frequencies are very directional. But because high frequencies are so incredibly directional, we want to make sure that this tweeter is actually pointed at your ears, not your neck, not your head, but your ears. And sometimes, depending on the height of the stand or the platform you have this on, you may need to change the attitude of this speaker. In Studio B, if you look behind me, you'll see that these actually are upside down. That's because the speaker stands and the coefficient of that height with the coefficient of the chair that the mixing position is in is such that the tweeter needs to be on the bottom as close to the stand as possible, so that this is pointed directly at the user's head. Now, I suppose if I were 6'7" or 6'8", then we'd be able to do this. But with this, the way it is, it would shoot over my head and I'd be adding an inadvertent amount of high frequencies to the mixes that isn't really, it's never gonna translate, because it'll sound great to me here, but really most of that high frequencies are going over my head. The converse is also true. If you have it too low, the high frequencies will hit you in the chest, and again, you're turning them up too loud, so that when you go to other systems or whatever, it's gonna sound really, really, high frequency and awful. The mistake that a lot of people make is putting them, well, I don't need it high, I don't need it upside down, I need it sort of in the middle. Well, there's a problem with putting it in the middle, and I'm going to use this clip from the Cinema Sound MZ Pro Education to show you why we never want to put speakers on their sides because of phase and delay issues. So here we have a consumer grade three-way speaker. You've got a tweeter, a mid-range, and then a woofer. And what's interesting is this is about the size, or could be easily, of a subwoofer. And the difference is it doesn't have much throw. In other words, it can't move very far. A subwoofer has to move really, really far. So this is just a woofer, might go down to, 60 hertz, maybe 55, something like that. Now, check this out. We talked about how important it is to have the same level, the same actual physical distance of all drivers to you, the listener. And if you're listening too high compared to these speakers, you're gonna hear this speaker before you hear this one, or vice versa. Side to side, not that much of a deal, but I'm just gonna move it front to back and see if you can notice anything about phase or weird soundingness. So hopefully this shows you why it's important to either have them vertically upside down or vertically horizontal, but never, ever sideways like this. I mean, you can probably have it straight at you like that, and the only speaker that you'll ever get to do that with is your center channel, but all the rest are gonna be at some angle like this, and you're gonna have a delay issue between your tweeter and your woofer, to say nothing of what it'll be like if you have a three-way speaker. Obviously, single speakers, probably not a big deal, but who wants to listen on single speakers? They're gonna sound terrible anyway. Definitely come and join us if you're a Cinema Sound member on the secret Facebook group that we have. We'd love to have you. Lots of action, lots of questions being answered there. And also be sure to join us on Thursday nights at 6 p.m. Pacific for the Cinema Sound Symposium, where we're going through the entire MZ Pro education from Cinema Sound. Make sure you jump on, and we'll love to see you there. Until then, we'll see you in the mix.
Even if it's for yourself.